Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I figure I wanted to talk with you quickly about a problem that I think besets a lot of football manager players after a little while, and a problem that I can see that I'm going through right now. This is the problem of burnout in whatever save or whatever project it is that you're working on right now. I've had this happen to me multiple times over the years I've played this game. And it definitely is starting to come back right now and is coming out sort of in full force. I'll let you see why. So let's go back here. We're going to take a quick look here at how things are going here for the team. You can see we only have 2 social groups. That's the last thing I was looking at. If we go over here to the schedule, you can see that it's just more of the same, right? So we had our championship game against Boise State, and then we played Texas Tech in this bowl game. We're going to have games in January and February. March will be part of March Madness. Maybe we're invited to it and we get in and we get knocked out of the first round. Maybe we last a little bit longer. Who knows? I'm not certain that I'm going to be able to stomach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more games against the same teams that we just played to get there to see what that is like, only to be followed by 9 more games in the league, and then eventually by the what they're calling the College World Series, and then finally getting to the brief transfer window. The problem with this data file, as I've said before, is that it's repetitive. Just a little bit. There's not a whole lot of interesting stuff going on, right? As I said once, it would have been interesting if these non-conference matches had been put in through the season instead of being played all at once, because you play all of these before you know what your team does, and then next thing you know, you're playing over and over again against San Diego State or against Colorado State or someone like that, and you're like, I mean, what's the point of this? Why am I playing this team again? We know that we're better than they are, right? It's kind of bizarre. We have a whole bunch of competitions, but they don't mean much, right? This one here, the non-conference schedule one, didn't mean much at all, right? And then, like, these are all just one-offs. That was a one-off. This were 3 matches, and we won. That was a one-off. And then this is our league. And then this, of course, is the College Cup that we were knocked out in, which was kind of a shame. That's kind of what happens. I mean, there's not really much else to do, right? We can't do transfers, as I've said a billion times. We have plenty of money in the bank. We can't spend it, right? I can go make requests of the board for something or other, but other than improving youth facilities, I'm not sure what else it is that we're going to try to do, because there's no point in doing anything else. We don't need more money for transfers because we have way too much. We have way too much free wage budget. It's a problem, right? I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do here with the save. It just turns into play this match, play that match, play this match, play that match. There's nothing I can do to make the team better. Nothing I do to make us stronger. I just sort of go from match to match and we see how it works. That is an issue, and that's a problem. And this is the sort of thing I think you need to look out for in your own save to make sure that you're not getting completely burnt out on what it is that you're doing. It's easy in this game to get burnt out. It's easy in this game to feel like you've seen it already and you've done it already, especially if you're dealing with an editor data file that was not very well created, as we are in this case. So I've been looking around a little bit at different things that we can do, and I'll send us over here to the screen view that puts me on the other side of the screen. A couple of different things I've looked at that stand out to me. So just so you know, I really am looking forward to something like, I don't know, the Around the Globe Mega Pack being updated. The reason why I really want to see it updated is because that's really the project I want to do. I don't want to start it, though, before anything is updated, right? There are some other smaller projects we could do, but I'm not really sold on them. Looking around FM Scout, for example, I mean, I've seen this. This is the fixed PA to a PA range adjustment that also takes players who already have a PA range, puts them at their highest possible value, which is good if you like Wonder Kids. I mean, it's pretty cool. We could get it. We could start it up and take a look at it. But the problem is that we're not really going to see the impact of this until we get a certain way into the season. I don't know if I'm going to really want to get that far into the season. That's the problem, right? I feel like I'm kind of doing temporary setups here and there instead of doing something that's more permanent. This is another one. We could go manage Manchester United under Qatari ownership, which is a big dream. If we were going to do this, though, I would have to go in and change it, because calling Old Trafford the Qatar Arena, as this editor data file does, is a really bad idea and would make me really upset, right? So it would be nice to have maybe something like this, but something that is somewhat changed, so that we don't have to have all of the problems that come along with this. And reducing ticket prices and reducing season ticket prices, I mean, whatever. whatever. I mean, how has that helped me? I don't know. Most of the complaints here are about the change in the name of the arena, by the way. Now, there are other things I could do. I could go and grab one of the Asian nations in the Around the Globe Mega Pack. The problem, though, is that the Japan League is not updated yet. So I am part of Robbles Quinn's Discord, and I do know the files that he's talking about on Discord, but there's a problem. If you use them, it's not very good in terms of getting rid of duplicated players and other big problems that have existed or that have been created because of the updates that we have in Football Manager itself. And so really, I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I don't want to grab this and start some project that I know is not going to go very far because, this isn't really updated yet. It's not really ready for the big time. And then last but not least is my personal favorite out of all of the options you have, which is the World Super League. This is for FM22. Problem is that Darth Furion has not updated this for FM23 yet. Now, I've been waiting as patiently as I can, and I try to tell people on the forums he'll come around, it'll be okay, but you can see all the messages going back weeks saying, hey, where's the new version, right? The reason why is the nice thing about the World Super League is that there's so many different challenges that you have and so many challenging teams to play with at so many different levels. You can really get into it and have some fun with it, right? Instead of feeling like, okay, well, I started this thing up and it's kind of imperfect and, there's this thing I don't like and that thing I don't like and I didn't come across until later. This particular editor data file is excellent and is always well tested and works pretty well. So this is what I would really like to do, though if we started to save with this, it would end up being kind of longer term because I wouldn't want to leave it, Unfortunately, though, in contrast, we're kind of stuck, at least for the moment, with this save, and we'll see how much longer I can sit through it. I was looking through the Steam Workshop earlier today, looking for other possibilities and other options that we can play with, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm actually pretty unimpressed. I don't know what it is. Maybe there were problems this time around with the editor data file or what, but for whatever reason, it seems that the editor data files that we have in FM23 are not quite as good and impressive as the ones that we had in previous games. There's not a whole lot that I look at and I think, man, I really want to play with this or I really want to give this a whirl. For the most part, I look at it and kind of shrug my shoulders and say, yeah, I'm not so sure about this one, right? We could go back and play like in the German lower leagues again. There's an idea. You could play in the lower leagues in like Denmark or France or something like that. I'm not sure that I want to commit to something that's such a long-term project. I don't know. It's kind of a tricky thing, and it really is, I think, a tricky time in the development of the game. Honestly, I think one of the problems is that Sports Interactive announced that they would have that final China transfer update that just came out not long ago, which I think is the thing that has caused a lot of major editor data people to hold back on some of their editing and on some of the things that they're doing. So anyway, there you go. That's the way it is right now. Feeling the burnout. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any ideas down in the comments, and I will definitely look into them and may grab onto one or two. I know that Kev over on Lelujo has got Manchester City down relegated and is trying to build them back up. I looked at that data file as well. I mean, it's an idea, but again, like I said, I'm not so certain that I have the energy right now to do a complete rebuilding. I don't know. It may be better to mess around with that Manchester United data file and maybe fix up a couple of the extreme things here and there and have a go with that, because right now I don't really feel like doing a major rebuild and let's move up, 6 levels until we get to the top. I don't know. Just sort of my thoughts. I would love to know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.